Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back. Today we're going to start a new project and I am going to use a different ink. I'm going to try using this Distress Oxide Gathered Twigs. I have seen a bunch of people using Distress Oxide. I didn't know you could use it for inking. I figured since it had a little bit of pigment it would be wet, but I played with it a little bit and I really like it. It's a lot less work. Anyway, we are going to do a tall journal. This one's for Marty. She said my journals were getting too small. Well, she didn't say too small, she said smaller. So we're going to go from small to tall. I actually got this idea from Country Morning Crafts, I think it is, or Country Morning Creations. She was doing a tall ledger. And I don't want to do a hardback. I'm going to do a soft cover. What I thought I'd do is the same as I always, my go-to envelope journal. But rather than doing it hamburger style, we're going to do it, I guess it's hot dog style, right? We're going to do it long ways. So we are going to be folding our papers long ways, like this. Okay, so that's going to give us a page that is, of course, 11 by 4 1/4. All right, now I've never done this before, so I printed out the ephemera in 3 different sizes and we'll see what works. I have some ideas in my head, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do, so we're going to wing it. What else is new? So the papers I'm using, you guys are going to love these. These are gorgeous. This is Pink Monarch prints on Etsy. And she does have a YouTube channel. I think she's got like maybe 20 videos. These papers are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. And I printed them double-sided, so I'm not sure. I think, me and my pink roses, I think I want to use this one for the cover. I did print them double-sided. They're kind of grungy. Here's looks like handwriting upside down. But I did, like I said, here's a grungy stripe. This one reminds me so much of the one that I made in honor of my grandmother. And I'm still working on revising it because I accidentally deleted my working file. And yeah, so I'm having to recreate some stuff. But I am working on it, but the colors are very similar, that 1930s vibe for me. And so, yeah, I just, and the lace, there's gold lace, there's white lace. Yeah, I just love this. This is, there's some polka dot, very faint polka dot in the background there. Just beautiful, beautiful papers. And gosh, I don't know how I'm going to narrow it down to which ones I'm going to use in the journal, but I have a stack of goodies here. I've got gosh, I guess this is a 4 by, let's see, 1 2 3 4.5 by 5 3/4 size envelope. I guess that's a invitation size. I've got a number 10 envelope, trying to use up some of the remnants that I've got in my file. I've got a hymnal page, and the reason I chose this one is because it said "For the Beauty of the Earth," and I think one of God's most awesome creation is the rose. And it has "How Great Thou Art" on the back. Excuse me. I should have brought some water in here. I've got a dictionary page. And I've got, this is from the Country Flowers of a Victorian Lady. That's what it's from. By Fanny Robinson. Yeah, and so this one had roses and fuchsia, and primroses was on this side, so I just chose that page. I've got a coffee dyed coffee filter, and I found this doily, which looks like I did some stenciling of a butterfly on there. And then I've got some coffee dyed paper. This is printed, it's Liana Scrap. And I think I've got 6 or 7 of those. I'm not sure exactly how many pieces I want to put in the signature, but I'm thinking 25. Make it a nice fat chunky one. And then I've got some grid, coffee dyed grid and coffee dyed ledger paper here. And what I've done with these is just pulled them out of the book and run them through the printer with the Liana Scrap coffee dyed, and I just love how that turns out. I don't have any drying time that way. So let's start working on, oh, I didn't show you the ephemera. Let me show you the ephemera real quick. And like I said, I printed the ephemera out in 3 different sizes. So some of it is cut out, some of it is not. This is 8 by 10, and I'm thinking, where'd my ruler go? I'm hoping this will fit, yeah, because printing it out on the 8 by 10 size, and I did not make it fit to the page. I always uncheck that little box because I want to control how big it is. Now this should come out about 3.5, and our pages are 4 1/4 wide, so this will be perfect. So there's 3 envelopes, and then there's this page which has a little pocket and a tag, a couple of more little tags. There's a fussy cut butterfly page. There's this page that has a smaller envelope and some more tags. There's even a tiny little tag there and some labels. Here's another one like the one we looked at before with the tag in the pocket, just different designs. Here's a larger one. There again, this isn't going to fit in the page because, well, yeah, it's 4 and an 8, so that's going to be, excuse me, that's going to be a tight fit. But I can trim it down if I want, or I could use it for something else. And then there's these pockets that I printed out another page, 2 to a page. There needs to be a size between 8 by 10 and 5 by 7. There needs to be a 7 by 9. That would have been the perfect size. But I figured out printing out on 8 by 10 is about 85% of full size. And so these come out 4 5/8 wide. So if I want to use these as pockets, I'm going to have to trim them down, which is not an issue. That's not a problem at all. But I have some smaller ones that I print on 5 by 7, which is basically 2 to a page. And I think I want to put like three tall on one page, maybe on opposite, maybe like on the center signature, have the 6 pockets all there. I don't know, we'll see. I've got some ideas, and then it does have some gypsy ladies. I did not print those out, but I think I printed out all. The only one I did not show you was this one, and there it comes with a word page, and I printed that out full size. So I printed out everything except the gypsies on full size, on 8.5 by 10 or 8 by 10, and 2 to a page at 5 by 7. So between the 3 sizes, I've got a ton of ephemera in here, and you can see I've been cutting. So one way or another, we're going to get this book filled up. So, but first, let's work on the cover. Now, normally when I do an envelope journal, I should have been more prepared for this. Normally when I do an envelope journal, I'll use one of these. And I'll seal this up or leave it for a pocket and then fold it in half. And that gives me a 9 by 6 journal cover. If I did that this way, this envelope is, this one is 13 by 10. But I thought if I did this one and folded it this way, I'm going to have, I think that came out to about a 4 1/4 cover by 12. And I don't really need that 12. And I need a cover that's wider than 4 1/4, because 4 1/4 is the width of my page. Am I saying that right? No, it would be about 4 1/2, but I need more than 1/4 of an inch on either side. So I have these 10 by 13 envelopes that I thought I would use. So we'll play with this one. I am not going to do the end pockets. Excuse me, I'm going to stop and get a drink. Okay, making sure I'm recording. All right, so I'm going to seal this envelope. And I think that will be okay. So we are going to fold this way, but I don't want a journal that is 13 inches long. So what could we do? We could fold it up and make a pocket, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to trim it. Our papers are 11. I'm going to trim this at 11 3/8, and I'm going to trim this side. And the excuse me, oh my gosh, that water did not even help. And I went in there and I spilled it all over. We have water in the fridge. I don't know why all of a sudden my throat is doing that. We have water in the fridge, and of course I try to get my water bottle up there to make sure it's coming out in the right spot, and it goes overshoot every time. So okay, our paper is 11. Let's do 11 1/2, and I'm going to cut off the bottom of this envelope because I am going to sew around the envelope, and yeah, I'm not worried about cutting it off. You could fold here, so this would be, let's see, 1 1/2 inch fold up if you wanted to make a pocket. But I tried that and it was a little, this paper is thicker, and I had a little bit of difficulty with it. I'm going to save this. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but just in case. All right, so I'm going to decide later if I want to leave these open for pockets at the top. Do we need 11-inch tags sticking out the top? I don't know. Maybe not. All right, so I'm going to get my scoreboard. And what I'm thinking is, this is 10 inches wide. If I score at 4 3/4 and 5 1/4, I'm going to get a 1/2 inch spine, and that should be perfect. So I want to score on this side. I've got the flap on the bottom opening at the top in case I want to leave that open, but I doubt I will. All right, so let's do 4 3/4, and we're going to score down, and then we're going to do 5 1/4 and score down. I'm not going to do a tough spine or anything, cardstock. I'm just doing this to give me kind of a little room, and then that gives me the 4 3/4. My paper is going to be 4 1/4 wide. That gives me a 1/2 inch here for lace and whatever I want to add, little tabs or what have you. So 4 3/4, 5 1/4. Okay, now I'm going to score on those. Now I did notice that this one score line comes right on that flap where that seam is. So we'll see. We might need to reinforce that a little bit. But that's going to be on the inside. So let's fold this in and use our bone folder. So I'm lining it up here. And I apologize, this journal is going to be too big to keep inside the frame at all times. If I lift up my camera any higher, then you're going to see how messy my desk is. So I'll try to make sure that I show you everything. Okay, I'm just going to fold this other side. Lining it up with the bottom. Not always, the score lines are not always exactly straight where you want them. But basically, that's going to be our cover. Okay, so I think I'm going to start, and there it is. I'm going to ink this a little bit. And I will fast forward this part. So I did go ahead and add a piece of Micropore to the inside, and the main reason I did that is because this score line is right on where the paper overlaps. So I'm assuming on the inside, this one's probably near the score line. Either way, this will keep it from lifting up on us on the outside. So I do want to score that back. I think we're okay. That Micropore is very thin, so it conforms, and I'm pretty sure that it takes good ink too. So I think if we come alongside here, let me add a little bit more here. This ink does take a little getting used to because it's I don't know, it feels drier to me, but yet you get a lot more bang for your buck, if you will, because it goes on better. And I think it was Dawn that was using, it might not have been, but I was thinking it was Dawn Meadows, the book bundle shop, that was using the gathered twigs, and I liked the color, so I thought, why not try it? Okay, so the Micropore's on the inside. This is the open part, so that'll be the top. So let's put some paper. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I want to use that large rose. And I think there's two of them. There's this one, and I think there's a blue one. It's kind of a green color. Yeah. All right. So let me see, which one do I like. They're both gorgeous, but I think I like that one. So we're gonna cut this in half. I'm looking for my cutter. Oh, these videos when I have to do so much editing because I'm a dingbat. Oh, okay. So 4 1/4 is half of the 8 1/2. So I am just, let me double check. Yeah. So 4 1/4. And I'm going to ink this paper as well. Yeah, I just kind of feel like I don't have to work as hard to get the ink on there, but yet it doesn't feel like wet ink. I don't know. It's different. I remember when I started scrapbooking, I bought pigment ink, and I didn't know, excuse me, back then, that was, gosh, at least 20 years ago, I didn't know what pigment ink was, and was before I knew anything about Google. It only been around for a little while. I was probably still using MSN or something. But yeah, I did something and put hearts all over it with the silver pigment ink, and it never did dry. Still to this day, it's in my scrapbook. If I go in there, it wipes right off. So I don't know. All right, so I'm thinking, yeah, that's going to be gorgeous, isn't it? All right, so let's get that on there. Oh, I hate to cover up this beautiful side, but I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just went ahead and opted to do both sides. I have two thoughts at one time. I did have to up my instant ink to $15 a month, which is still not a bad deal. I went in and counted all the cartridges that they've sent me since December, and they have sent me 43 cartridges and more on the way. So there's no way I could afford to buy them like that for $15 a month. It just feels like a better deal to pay monthly. So I'm just going to center that top to bottom. That's going to be pretty. And I think I'm going to do an eyelet closure with the seam binding ribbon. It's one of my go-tos as well. Perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot. Now, what I'm wondering is, when I'm finished, you could cut a small sliver there, like 3/8, and stick in there, but I'm not going to, because I'll probably wrap this with lace around. What I'm going to do right now is go sew around the edge of both of these pages here. Actually, I should probably do this first. Let's mat this first. Let's use this one. Yeah. There again, all I'm doing is cutting everything the opposite direction. So 4 1/4. Apparently I didn't cut that all the way through. Ooh, that's pretty too. Do we use that side? No, I'll use this side. Oh my goodness, hard to decide. Definitely be using this paper collection again. This one is called, I don't know if I told you what it was called. It's Pink Monarch Prints, and I believe this one is called Gypsy Rose, and it has some gypsy lady pictures included. But and like I said, the ephemera and the pages, I think there's 12 background, 20, oh, there's got to be more than that. I think there's 24 background pages. 5, 10, 15, 20 background pages. I'm trying to remember how I printed them out. But 20 background pages, and then at least 10 ephemera pages in this kit. So a nice one to work with. I bought a bunch of her stuff all in one day because I was like, oh, I love that, I love that, I love that. So anyway, her link will be, her store will be linked below. This would be a great use for scrapbook paper, you know, the 12 by 12 that you get on sale. There's so many beautiful packs, and I almost did that. But I had downloaded this one and I thought, you know what, I really want to use that. Okay, there we go. Just some places where I can add a little bit more ink. Okay, I am going to go and sew around the pieces that I just attached. So probably gonna have to wait another 5-10 minutes. I don't want to put any glue in my sewing machine. So, but I will be back for you. It'll only be a moment. Okay, so while I was waiting for the glue to dry so I could sew this, I think it looks really cool. I left the strings down here, but I got the pages together, and I've got, I'm not sure exactly how I want to put these together, but I've got like 6 coffee dye, I've got 10 designer pages, and I've got a couple envelopes. So let's see, I've got about 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 miscellaneous pieces, and I think that comes out to what I've got comes out to about 25 pieces. So that's what's going to go in, and I went ahead and folded everything. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to Mod Podge the cover because I really want that to be Mod Podged. And then I'm going to figure out how I want the signature, and I'm going to sew the signature in, and then we'll be back and we'll start decorating with some of this ephemera. So this one's fun. Like I said, it comes out to about 11, almost 11.5 inches tall. I am going to sew some lace on the side of the designer pages as well. Yeah, other than that, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.